The session, so we will start in a few seconds. People from any kind of name, so I think they are coming from everywhere.
Hi everyone, I think we can start right now. So tonight we will have an alumni coming from, she's working in Dubai actually, and I will let Annalisa, program director, introduce everyone. Just to let you know, you can use the Q&A and the chat anytime to just say hi, or if you have questions, don't hesitate, okay?
Yeah. Will you manage the questions, Najes, or will I do it?
You can do it, I will let you.
Okay. So welcome to everybody to this career talk format. Actually, this is a way to show how good we are actually, and then thanks to the participation of a current student, Nadia Banjic, who is currently enrolled in the Master of Science in Luxury Management, specialization in brand management. And I have the pleasure to welcome back, even if just virtually, Anne-Marie Buber, former student and alumna from 5 years ago. So real okay, and then she was a Master of Science in Luxury Management, but in fashion, specialized in fashion. Nowadays, Anne-Marie and then Nadia will have a conversation. Actually, this is the format about careers after luxury studies, and especially related to the magic world of Dubai. That is always very interesting. Nadia, Anne-Marie, stage is yours.
So hello, good afternoon to everyone. I'm extremely grateful to have this opportunity to interview Ms. Baber. So first of all, I'd like to start with a question about, so what are some of the main challenges for luxury brand distribution in the Middle East, as you come from that part? So that's something we can start with a conversation with.
Okay. So for me, I would say that the main challenges is in the distribution, that the environment is quite changing. So before, all the brands, all the companies, they had to go through a local distributorship. Now the law is giving a bit more flexibility, that the companies can actually operate directly in Dubai. So for example, I used to work in Richemont before, and we're adapting in the process that before our big part of sales was mainly wholesale. So we were working with big distributors specialized in luxury and jewelry. And today, the whole environment is changing. So we're trying to implement, it's called retailization, and quit our partnerships with the distributors and go more and more directly into direct operated boutiques. Just because in luxury, for us, it's the advantage that we have more control over our brand strategy. So it's changing a lot in this direction.
Okay, but are these strategies also applied for online distribution? And are there any challenges for online distribution or no?
It goes in line. So if you want to take the example of Richemont, we have Net-a-Porter. So it's basically direct operated online, and it's going very well. Instead of where we have Sephora, the distributor, not under Richemont, but for example, in cosmetics, you have Sephora as Sephora has online sales, and for example, Namshi or Aunas, and they are operated under Chalhoub, for example. So it's under a distributor, and we're totally losing visibility and a little bit of control. So they do, for example, very strong discounts, which is not in line with our strategy.
Okay, but what do you think is the main influence from going through a distributor or going directly to the sales?
So say again?
What do you think is the main influence for the brands from like going through a distributor or distributing directly by yourself as a brand?
It depends always on the company, how they do, but the goal is to operate directly, especially in luxury. So if, for example, we dedicate a budget and we want to implement retailization, we totally push for it, because in the end, also we have a higher, like we have a 100% margin if we sell directly.
Mhm. Okay.
And even in the cosmetics, we are opening more and more direct operated stores. Like you see, for example, on we had the example on Estee Lauder and also in L'Oreal. We're going more and more directly. Whereas before, you would see cosmetics mainly in wholesale or department stores, because they said it's not profitable to pay the rent to be directly operating a store just for cosmetics. But the higher you go in luxury, the more we see now, especially in the Middle East, it's working well.
Okay, and can you tell me a little bit more about who are your clients in the Middle East and which option do they like more? Like, do they like to go to department stores more or directly to your brand stores?
It's a big mix. So for us, actually, all channels are doing well. And you have a mix that some people are going mainly to department stores and others to direct operated. But if you look, we have, for example, our malls, Dubai Mall and Mall of Emirates. We have so many direct operated stores. So if you go in, it's basically, you feel like you're in a department, you feel like you're in a department shop, even on, let's say, luxurious level.
Okay. And are there any particular strategies for pricing between these two options, or the price stays the same? And what is the difference? Because what I noticed when I went to Dubai, what is the difference in the price between the Middle East and in contrast to Europe?
So first question, the price should usually stay the same. Okay. In wholesale and in retail. But then in reality, it's not this case, because that's what we are fighting always with our distributors, because in Dubai, if you see, probably you have a lot of discounts level, you have a lot of promotions. So basically, in our direct operated stores, we're trying to avoid any discounts. While our distributors, they don't really care about the brand image to destroy it. And especially when we were working in Richemont on high-end watches, they were just completely giving discounts non-stop. And we would lose our clients because they would always go directly to the distributor asking for discounts. And here, discount is very attractive because it works very well with our Arabic consumer group and also the Indians. So whenever they know, they get discounts at the distributor, and it was a common case. Any watch you want, it would be on discount. So we try to fight it. And to your second question about the pricing, Middle East versus Europe. Yeah. So the goal is to align all the prices worldwide, right? Yeah. Currently, it's not aligned at all. So for example, usually if you look at fashion, or if you look in general, the prices in the Middle East, let's say 10% higher. If you go, for example, to LVMH, the same product is 10% higher here versus the European market, okay?
Do you know the reason for it?
I would say it was in the beginning, the price strategy, and it's difficult to adapt it, so it takes time. And I think because they know also the consumer, they have more power to buy the products. So that's why they keep the price high. But then, for example, when it comes to jewelry, okay, jewelry and watches, we're actually 8 to 10% lower. So if you go to Cartier today, the same Clou bracelet will cost you 10% less in Dubai than in Europe. So a lot of people buy here. And this is, let's say we're trying to adapt it. So I was working before in pricing in Richemont, and every time we had a price increase, this question came up. We said, no, we have to align with the European market. So they try to do it, but the price increase is going so fast from both sides that it's still difficult to adapt.
Okay, but taking into account the whole supply chain and all the distribution strategies you have mentioned earlier, you personally, what do you think, to what extent is the relationship with both the employees within the stores and the customers important for the final sales?
So in luxury, it's very important because I don't know how it's in other markets, but for example, here in the Middle East, you always have client advisor and you WhatsApp him. So whatever I need from the shop, into every boutique, to every brand, I have a WhatsApp number. So basically my relationship is very good. And a lot of people from this market, especially like high-end consumers, they have their contact person and they're more willing to message this one, and the person will arrange already everything rather than they go and do their research and do shopping and check if the piece is in stock. So the relationship is very important.
Yeah, this is crucial. The next question would be like, what did you notice the difference between the sales and the whole supply chain distribution before the COVID and after the pandemic? Is there like a big change in strategy in sales and the overall impact?
Yes, I think so. Corona caused a lot of panic, I would say. And now everyone wants to change. Everyone wants to focus on the right things. So that's why, for example, in Dubai, we're not in a lockdown now. And when I go to the office, it's the whole time like putting pressure, a lot of new strategies, a lot of challenges, because we try basically to adapt to the new market. And when before Corona, we were just, I would say in luxury, we were slow. We were slow in everything. When it came to supply chain, especially, we didn't invest in technologically. We were just counting on long lead times. So everything was very slow and very traditional. And I think now after Corona, they woke up and they said, okay, we need to adapt faster to the market to respond. And this way they try to adapt. And also I think a big role is not only that they switched, for example, from keeping the focus on retail and marketing, which they thought, okay, this is where our budget goes in luxury, because this is, let's say, this improves our brand strategy, our dream. So now they're actually putting the focus on supply chain. And also, I would say, in terms of distribution, I would say a big part of Corona is now that the focus is on e-commerce. So all the luxurious brands, they are suddenly trying to push on e-commerce. Before it was like a plan, okay, this is the plan, we go step by step into e-commerce, very slow. Even if you look at Net-a-Porter, they had their apparel and everything. But now after Corona, they said, okay, now we're pushing quickly, high-end watches, high-end jewelry. So you find pieces that are super expensive on an e-commerce platform that you didn't see before. Or let's say they push everything from cosmetic on e-commerce. So we are really putting the attention on it.
Okay, so with this being said, do you see any new trends emerging for the future? You personally, do you have feeling some new trends will occur?
The trend I'm seeing now, because basically now we're all like trying to involve e-commerce, and when we involve e-commerce, we always forget that e-commerce is, let's say, for us in luxury, just a complementary step in the customer's journey. So I feel like the trend is now that we did this step, we know that we need to be in e-commerce, and the next step is that we are trying to connect all channels. So you see, for example, that like last month, Montblanc, they followed basically Louis Vuitton, and they said, okay, you can do your research, you can go online, and you can reserve the product in any boutique you want to go tomorrow. So they are linking both channels. And I think this is going to be the trend in the future, that we will have, or what's missing basically now, that all the channels will be much more connected. So basically you as a consumer, you have one, let's say, customer journey, and wherever you want to be now, you will find your product. You can look online, you find your product, you WhatsApp on your client advisor in Dubai Mall, you pick the piece up in, I don't know, Mall of Emirates, or in the future, maybe even in another country. I think this is going in this trend.
Sorry, Nadia, there is a question from an anonymous attendee who is asking, is the purchasing power and the desire to spend on brands is the same post-pandemic in the Middle East?
Post-pandemic?
Yeah, if the purchasing power and the desire to spend is the same as in the post-pandemic in your country? The same as before?
Yes, currently it is. Why? It's because the spending power is basically on our local group, and they are not allowed, or they cannot really travel now. Before, they used to spend the summer, for example, in Europe. So you would see they would spend everything in London, Paris, south of France. And now they are not allowed to travel, so they stay in the Middle East. And we see, for example, Abu Dhabi is closed. So suddenly our boutique in Abu Dhabi is performing super well. Our boutiques in Qatar are performing. So currently it is. I think when it starts to calm down, maybe a little bit longer term, you will see the impact.
Okay. And so it means that the pandemic is really relaunching the local consumption.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So it's a new vision for luxury brands. Sorry, Nadia, I have a question for Anne-Marie. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when students start their studies with me, then in most of the cases they're interested in marketing, as you were. Okay, so now you're working in the supply chain. That is sometimes is considered less fancy, less interesting. What is your perception now that you have worked in marketing and now you're working in supply chain? Actually, what is the difference?
Okay, the difference is that, for example, when I started working in supply chain, I still find it very boring. But now I see the positive part, that it's actually interesting when I come to forecasting. And when I see, for example, that especially with this pandemic, my job was secured while they started to cut first on marketing. So in this way, it's changing.
Could you ever imagine?
I think also that because supply chain is something I never imagined to know or to learn, or never imagined I would go into this direction. And now, for example, if one day I want to open my own business, I wouldn't be scared anymore of this part, because marketing, basically, you do it with a little bit more intuition, whereas supply chain, now I learned what I was forced to learn, what I would never look into it, what I always found too boring.
Did you like numbers when you did accounting at IUM?
I hated it, and now I'm good in it.
The monster.
And now everything is just numbers for me.
Okay, sorry, Nadia. Do you want to go ahead with your interesting questions?
Are there any more questions related to this topic, or we can move on to the career questions?
No, actually, it's a conversation. So you.
Okay. Okay, so what I would like to ask you as a current student is, from your point of view, what are the career aspects and opportunities in the Middle East and Dubai especially?
Okay, so like I came to Dubai, I only knew I want to work in luxury. So basically I targeted all the brands, and I would give you as a current student the same advice, to just go on LinkedIn, apply directly to all the brands. And for example, me, I stepped short because I took the job and it was in supply chain, for example. So I would still go for it, because it's the whole experience that counts. And if you want to go to Dubai, especially, it doesn't matter in which department you are, it counts more the experience that Dubai is a really fast-paced market. So it goes very fast. You will be challenged. You're not treated like let's say when you start on a junior level or internship level, you're not treated like this. You always have to give full speed. So you learn a lot on this level.
Do you feel there is an opportunity for growth after like an internship, to start a career there and to find a concrete job?
Yes, so I would say that in Dubai, it goes much faster than in Europe, because here, even young talents, like if you're performing, you can grow very fast. So basically here they say that you stay in every position 2 years. But then, for example, if you apply, it's always easier because the market is small here. If you apply to the competition, you can even grow to another level after 1 year. But it's always you're going on full speed. And basically the companies here, the work environment is very young. So everyone is in their late 20s, 30s, not like in Europe, for example, that you have someone experienced in a position, but this person will be already in their 50s. Here you see really young people.
Yeah, so there are definitely opportunities for growth. And is there are there any languages required? Is it mandatory to know Arabic or?
I mean, I'm here without Arabic, and usually all the companies, they are really international. So the language spoken is English. And I would say when you're in luxury, unofficially also French, French or Italian. So these are the languages spoken around me, way more than Arabic. Now there's, for example, they require sometimes Arabic speakers in internships because they are pushing for the locals to get internships and get into the working environment. But otherwise, I would say, don't worry, there's no Arabic required.
Okay, and as a student coming from a non-EU country, I'm from Serbia, what is the process of getting a visa? Is it easy or complicated? How does it function?
So everyone needs a visa coming to Dubai, even me, and I have a German passport. So basically you can come to Dubai and stay 3 months on a tourist visa.
Okay.
And if you want to stay longer, you need a work visa. So everyone, the moment you apply, you get a job in a company, you automatically have a working visa.
So they're helping with the whole process?
Yeah, they do everything for you.
Okay, that's amazing.
Because your visa is basically, your employee is always responsible for your stay in Dubai.
Okay. And
actually, so sorry, Nadia, this is why to international students, Dubai is very interesting because it's super easy. You don't need any, there are no barriers, there are no passport barriers, and then this is a good starting point because it's an international environment where it's a luxury destination because actually luxury clients are going there. So there is it's a vibrant, I would say, environment for young people, young professionals willing to learn how to work in the luxury business. And then from there, you can move to other regions because you're already working for a company and they can even help you to move to another country, even a European one, for example. So once you're in, your passport is, your visa is sponsored. Sorry, there are 2 questions for Anne-Marie. What does a typical day look like? And what are the minimum salaries in luxury in Dubai?
What does a typical day look like? I mean, typical day looks like that I'm going at 9 o'clock to work, finishing everything. And then usually working hours are quite long. So you can stay in the office up to 10 p.m. because it's really a working mentality. But then every single weekend feels like you're on vacation because you have the beach, you have the sunshine, you have everything you want here. So that's how it looks like. You really focus a lot on work. You work on fast pace, but you also enjoy a lot. And Dubai is always, that's why it's a consumption city. So you have, let's say, good salaries, but you also spend because you enjoy. And in terms of salaries, so basically when it comes to the salaries for internships in luxury is always much lower paid in Dubai than any other industry. So you start basically, let's say, on 2,000 euro, or if you negotiate well, it can go, let's say, entry level 3,000 euro. But always keep in mind that, for example, your rent will be, let's say, minimum 800,000 euro minimum. So that's how it starts. And then later, when you get a permanent job, I would say you can get anything between 3,500 euro and 6,000 euro. It always depends how you negotiate. But the first step is always the most difficult. And I would say to everyone, don't care about the first salary. The moment you put your step into a company, because the first one is always the most difficult. And the moment you're in the Middle East market, after this, you can move after half year, after 1 year. And with every move you're doing, you always have the salary jump of 1,000 or 2,000 euro.
Okay, thank you. Nadia.
Are there any more questions from the students?
I wanted to, okay, I said, yes, there is another one. Thank you. How do you perceive priority now and in the future connected to the entire health components, product and services, prevention, and high level of priority in this pandemic time? So if you have any view on this, Anne-Marie?
Can you repeat the question?
Because how can I? Oh, sorry, I was trying to do it to make it bigger. How do you perceive priority now and in the future connected to the entire health components? So product and services, the prevention, and high level of priority in this pandemic time. I think so luxury and health, and then if there are some, what are the priorities between luxury and health? This is what I was asking for Goran. And how do you predict to be developed in the future? Is the
So basically that all the companies are going environmental friendly? Is this the question? And
I
work-life balance?
did it in this way, yeah.
I think that's the whole marketing for companies. So they really try to follow this trend. But I honestly don't know how it's going to develop.
Difficult, but actually, let's say that in Dubai the situation is pretty cool. So the situation is not that bad as in other parts of the world, because of you got the vaccine much before many other countries, and then everything is open. So museums, everything. So people are really having a real life, except for the mask.
This is the question, yes. Because we all get vaccinated here. We are pushed to get vaccinated. They want to, even yesterday they announced that for those people who don't get vaccinated, there will be restrictions in their lifestyle. So basically they push everyone for it. And yeah, everything is open. So we don't really have those issues.
No. It's a very good place to go now that everything is closed in other part of the world.
But also on the contrary, when we actually had lockdown in Dubai, I wasn't here, but it lasted, I don't know, maybe 2-3 months. All companies were drastically firing, not like in Europe where you were a bit more protected. Here immediately they were firing, they were giving salary cuts, I think even up to 35%, bonus cuts, so very drastic. Now we're doing well because it's all open, so I don't feel it, but
it was not easy.
Exactly.
And then a nice question from, I'm looking for the name, from Johanna. How close is what you do now to what you learned at IUM? Is the program reflecting the actual day-to-day tasks of the industry? How many group projects you do in your daily way? Your daily job?
I would say it's like in school. So for me, the project we had, Annalisa, that reflects the most what I'm doing today is we had a seminar with Burberry on buying and merchandising and buying. This was for me the closest. And for example, when I do forecasting now, it's very similar. So it helped me a lot. But I would say the task honestly doesn't matter, because if I do today supply chain or tomorrow marketing, basically I have my experience, I can do anything somehow today. So I would say what the master really reflects is that you need to focus on your connections. And also it taught me a lot about luxury, the luxury industry. So for example, what I'm seeing now, I have the advantage that I actually studied luxury compared to my colleagues. So I can exactly see, this is it goes automatically for me that I'm thinking already in this way of luxury, that this is the experience, this is the strategy, this is where we have to stand. Whereas sometimes my colleagues who didn't study it are a little bit like, tunnel focus.
Interesting point.
So for me, the master, it helped me a lot. And I would never regretted my decision in this way.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer. Nadia, do you want to go ahead and then we do a ping pong?
Yes, I have one more question. As a current student, would you recommend me and the fellow students to start our career in the Middle East? And what is your overall level of satisfaction?
So especially now, I would say go for it. It has a lot of advantages. We already brought them up. First of all, you can easily get here. Dubai is a very attractive city. You have every single company or brand that you imagine in luxury is going to be here. The offices the headquarters are huge here. So you have really good possibilities. Your lifestyle is going to be amazing. Your network is going to be amazing. And plus, obviously, now with the pandemic, it's very easy because we are not, let's say, sacrificing from it. Everything is open. So we're still, let's say, having job opportunities here. So I would recommend it definitely. And on top, you will grow very fast. So you can establish easier a life and a high experience, and then you always can go back to Europe. Like, for example, I know I will not stay forever here. I want to go at some point back to Europe, but I already have my base of experience, knowledge, and let's say you get resistant in Dubai.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Are there any more questions from students? Because
yes, actually. How is Made in Italy, of course, is Valentina is an Italian student. How is Made in Italy luxury brands perceived in the Middle East market? There is a different perception in the country of origin.
Honestly, I would say people here care less about it. It's more the European consumers who are more specific. If it's, let's say, LVMH or Kering brands, they are very specific about it. Here, they go across all brands. And sometimes even you see the consumers are spending on something that doesn't really show quality just because the brand stabilized the brand perception well in the market.
Because it's branded, yes.
Exactly, because it's branded, and they are not like very sensitive when it comes to pricing, quality, or made in. They will tell you, okay, they're proud because the shoes are made in Italy, but no one really knows what's behind it.
So in this case, it's more for status than so the conspicuous consumption that is really connected to this. Yes, and then can I ask you just to recap your career path since you moved out of the of Monaco? What happened? So you went there, and then what happened?
Yes, so I went to Dubai directly because I got accepted for an internship with Mercedes. Mm-hmm. I did the internship for 6 months, and then I got accepted in the what was it? Career development plan from L'Oreal. So I switched to L'Oreal. I was there in sales and business development, also on the luxury division. And from there, I got a permanent job offer from Richemont. So I changed to Richemont. So basically in Richemont, I stayed almost 3 years. And that's why I went into supply chain. And from Richemont now, because it was time for me to grow and I was pushing for promotion, and I couldn't get it in Richemont, and that's why I went to Estée Lauder. And in Estée Lauder, I'm working on my brands La Mer, Bobbi Brown, and Clinique. And I'm doing, I'm the demand planner, so I'm doing forecasting there.
So, and what is your next plan?
Next plan is, so basically my plan was to go to Estée Lauder to get another push in my career. And any next step I'm going to do is going to be a move to Europe.
So you want to go back?
Yes.
Because usually on average, how many years people are staying in Dubai as expats?
But stay short term usually. So I'm already here almost 5 years, I think, 5.5 maybe. So this is considered as long.
Yeah, actually people are just coming, yes, growing, and then they go back. Actually you already replied to Tara's question. Why did you decide to work in the Middle East, more or less, actually, why you applied to positions in Dubai?
Why? I mean, I wanted to stay in Monaco, but I also wanted to work for a big luxurious brand or company. And that's why I needed to find a a country, let's say, or a metropole that offers me big headquarters. And also, like, personally, I always need my sunshine. So basically my option was to move to Milano or to Dubai, and I got accepted right away to Dubai, and that's why. I never expected I would stay so long, but I'm still here.
Still here, still there, yes. Did your master help you to get a job in luxury, or are there people who can get a luxury job without a luxury master?
There are definitely a lot of people who get a job in luxury without the master. And this makes me, let's say, one of the rare candidates. And I would say it pushes my CV a lot, because no matter, I noticed this myself, wherever I apply in the luxury industry, they directly point out, aha, she studied luxury management. And already it's a big push for the CV. And whenever I speak also to HR, like outside of my company, they always point this out, that I'm a strong candidate because I already studied luxury management, and the fact that I worked for so many different luxury multinational companies. So I would say definitely.
And the fact that you studied in Monaco, Monte Carlo, so putting Monaco on your CV, did intrigue people or HR and then ask? So can you?
Yes, definitely. That's what I'm saying. I studied luxury management, and Monaco is basically the branding here, because whenever they reach this, they will definitely pick out my CV already, because it's opening the eyes. And whenever they recommend me also, it's easier to just mention the word. She studied in Monaco luxury management, and people already remember. Because
like we had a guest speaker the other day, Ricardo Giraudi, the owner of here of many restaurants, and then he said at the very beginning of my career, I was actually, he's a past student of IUM, and then he went to ABS, and then the first phone call he got after sending 200 CVs was a person then who invited him to the meeting, and then we when he knocked at the door. And then, buongiorno, I'm Ricardo Giraudi. Ah, you are the Monaco guy. Actually, because people remember the fact that you are studying luxury in Monaco, that is one of the main source of luxury, one of the main environment of luxury. So you're confirming that as well.
Confirming, totally. And no one pays attention to which task I did, what I studied in which program. No one pays attention to my bachelor, to my grades, no one. It's just the fact, okay, luxury management in Monaco. They don't even care if I studied under luxury management, fashion, retail, or what else, hospitality. No one cares about it.
Yes, so I know, but students have to be convinced about it. So thank you for that. Allora, another anonymous attendee is asking, did you know everything to perform your job, or did you get training from the company?
So basically, I think especially in Dubai, you don't get any trainings or handovers. You just get thrown into the cold water, and it's expected, and you have to deliver. So you learn it with time, with the experience, but you're really under pressure, and you really have to be proactive and curious to learn it by yourself. No one will take you in the company by the hand and explain things to you.
Yeah. Always be proactive. This is in general. So be hungry. So be willing to learn. Okay. Did you first Anna? There is another question that is related to your move to Dubai. Did you first apply for a job, then move, or did you go to Dubai and and then you got the job there? I think it was the first one, as you said.
I applied, but I know many people who come first, and I would say it's helpful, because when you're here already and know the market, you get connected to a lot of recruiters, and you can go. It's even very popular and common to go for coffee here with a recruiter, or see a recruiter for a drink. I got my Richemont interview because I had a coffee with the recruiter in Starbucks. Yeah, and that's how
very informal.
Exactly, informal.
No. Do you think, Emma is asking, do you think Dubai is the same as it was when you moved there for when you started your career, or is there any other country area that is taking the place?
I would say that Dubai is taking the place, especially with the
It's still a vibrant place to go.
Yes,
What
very
about
vibrant.
Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi, I mean, it's connected to Dubai, but it's very calm, and there's no headquarters, not in luxury.
Yeah.
It's more
And,
government and gas and finance a bit, but the rest is all in Dubai. In Dubai the expat business happens.
Yeah, especially in luxury, I would say. And then so actually soon the Expo 2020, the postponed Expo 2020 will start. Is Dubai hiring many people, or do you perceive there is a need for new people coming to support this huge event?
There is definitely. So there's a lot of people coming here. Now it slowed down a little bit because of Corona, but it's picking up again. And in luxury itself,
Maybe
it's
hotels?
okay. It's more in hospitality, I would say.
Okay, so maybe it's the moment to go there for
Yes.
the ones, maybe for Nadia and your cohort. It can be really a good, an interesting move. Yesterday I got the confirmation, maybe next year I have to bring my hospitality students to Dubai. Yes.
I'm
In
jealous.
the country.
I'm jealous I'm not a next year student.
Go to Dubai, we will meet there, Nadia. And okay, are the expenses for housing, food, etc., much higher compared to European countries, for example, compared to Monaco? Sorry, who is asking for this question? Estefania, actually, Monaco, sorry, then I let you reply, Marie. Actually, Monaco is not that expensive but if you go out every night, not this year. So this year is students are not spending €1 outside, but usually Monaco is not that expensive, except if you go out every night and then if you drink Dom Perignon and then you go to Cipriani. But if not, is not, cosa dice? Real estate is higher than in other locations, no more than London, no more than center of London, center of Milan. So more or less is the same. But for the cost of living, it depends on how you set your lifestyle. Honestly, there are people having a normal life here. Of course, people are going out every single night, spending whatever. So back to the question: do you think, Anne-Marie, Dubai is? No, aspetta. Are the expenses for housing, food, and in Dubai much higher than the other places?
I would say it's just what you said about Monaco. It's exactly the same. I would compare it to Monaco. And obviously your expenses go out if you go for crazy dinners in fine dining. Your expenses go up. But the housing, I would compare it to Monaco. Food as well. Before, real estate used to be much more higher. Before, it was comparable to London, but obviously you were paying the prices of London, but you always had your concierge, you had your gym, you had your pool in the house. Now the prices went much lower, so it's okay compared with Monaco.
Okay. There is another. Is Monaco or Dubai better for work-life balance?
I think in Dubai we work longer hours.
Yeah, I think it's Monaco, honestly. But then it depends on what you want to do. In Monaco, in Dubai, you are going out much more than in Monaco. Because of course there are even many more opportunities, but it's really is a very running city, much more than Monaco, I would say.
Depends what a person needs. In Monaco, yeah. I would say I have more free time. In Dubai, I have less free time but a higher salary. And if I have the weekend, if I have free time, I can enjoy myself in the same way in Monaco as in Dubai, because in both places you have restaurants and the beach.
Many more in Dubai than Monaco, but yes, of course. They're asking if they can connect with you on LinkedIn.
I deleted my LinkedIn, but by email anytime.
Why you deleted your LinkedIn?
I just deleted it a few months ago.
So the anti-law of networking.
Yes, I know. But everyone can connect with me by email. Anytime welcome.
Okay, so
Or
maybe
by social media, I don't mind.
you are on Instagram, so but
Yes.
you are on Instagram, so you can.
I'm more on Instagram than on my emails and on LinkedIn, that's for sure.
She's a fashionista, so you will have. I'm dreaming anytime I'm looking at your post on Instagram, so you can do it. But guys, if you want, you can connect with my LinkedIn page. I'm available if you want. Then, what did you do when you were an intern in Mercedes? At Mercedes?
I did sales and marketing long time ago.
Long time ago, yeah. And then, do you have? Did you meet IUM people living in Dubai? Because actually, Dubai in the past and now a bit less. It used to be the second biggest luxury community outside Monaco.
So I always kept in touch with a lot of people. I'm in touch with Joan, with Melissa, Sarah also lives here. Who else? Eva, you met Eva last time. So I would say I'm in touch with a lot of people from IUM. And even if I'm not direct in touch, you always see like, aha, this person through Instagram, he's still in Dubai, you see what's going on. So I would say we keep in touch quite well.
Yeah. And then what did you study at university? I assume before joining IUM.
I studied international business and marketing.
So not finance, not numbers. Okay. And but actually, guys, we are not looking for any specific educational background. We can so we're really open to a diversified cohort. So this is something that we really like. Usually we have people from law degrees and then engineering, communication, business. There is everything. This is not really important. There's not a barrier. So the previous bachelor is not a barrier, I would say. Actually, Nadine wants to connect with you on Instagram. So how she can find you? What is your?
My name is Anna Bober. ANNABOBER.
Anna.
I will.
Bober.
Yes.
Voilà. I'm typing on the chat. Okay.
No, wait.
One N.
One N, yes. Like this.
Anna, okay.
Today I will
Voilà.
accept every follower. Tomorrow I'm closing.
Good. Nadia, are you now convinced that you are moving to Dubai? No.
Well, I'm convinced, but for the beginning, I found an internship here in Monaco, so I will.
Okay. You have already found it?
Yes.
Good. In what?
Chapter. You know the chapter. Chapter company.
Sorry, the line is not good. What?
The chapter company.
Of course. Easy. So the cultural connection.
Yeah.
Okay. And so good for you. I'm happy for that. So guys, if there are no more questions, I think that it's time to close this session. I thank you so much, Anne-Marie and then Nadia, for playing the game tonight. And then so I hope so you will. I hope to see you. Actually, I know I recognize some names in the attendees. And then Anne-Marie, I'm waiting for you soon here in the Côte d'Azur. And Nadia, see you in the coming days at school.
See you. Thank you very much.
Good. Bye.
Everyone, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Nadia, there is a message, I think, for you in the chat. She left already.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Annalisa.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.